Do today. Now, first off, I'm going to start off with saying I am not a horse trainer, so this video is not at all to help you learn how to do something. I am simply a rider who's just trying to do better every single day. So, do not think that I fancy myself as the one who you should go to for advice for working a horse. It's not the point of these videos. But today, I am going to show you a part of our exercise today, just because I think it's going to be a good visualization for a scripture reading. So, in a second, I'm going to take Sally out and we're going to start trotting. And as you can tell, we've kind of worked this circle down, so this is where I warm him up. So lately he's been getting really anxious to leave the circle, and when we start heading down one of these rows or something, he'll start speeding up. And you know, that's not exactly the most enjoyable thing. So I'm going to try and get him to slow down. Now I could just like pull on his mouth and get into a fight with him and just, you know, him not enjoy himself, me not enjoy myself, and we could get it done, but it might look very ugly. So instead, I'm going to give him a choice. He's going to have a choice to trot down nicely. But if he starts speeding up and bouncing me around and not paying attention to me, I'm going to counter bend him. So what that means for anybody who is not a horse rider is I'm going to bend his body. Let's say if I'm going to bend his body to the right, as if we were going to do a right circle, but we're actually going to travel in a left circle. So that's a lot more work for him. And I'm going to ask him to maintain his high speed at that. So I'm giving him the choice, like, you can go down and we can just trot nicely how we want to. I won't be in your face and my legs won't be in your side. But if you decide that you just want to charge on through and, you know, be all gung-ho about it, since you have all this energy, we might as well put you to work. All right, so let's see how we do. We did this yesterday, so I'm kind of hoping he'll do the same thing today. So let's find out. It was a coyote out here earlier, so I'm hoping it's gone by now. Not being too bad. Not maintaining a straight line, but he's not speeding up yet. Let's see. Oh, I'm actually gonna slow down. Let's see if we head off this way. We like to gain speed going this way. A little speed, but it's still actually not as bad as it was yesterday. Let's go ahead and do a counter bend. So he might be pretty good today, y'all. Trying just to relax and let him kind of pick the speed. Oh, look at there. Somebody learned the lesson from yesterday. So yesterday we did about 6 to 8 counter bend circles before he finally got the idea that when he came out of that, maybe he shouldn't rush off, but maybe I should slow down because it was work. And, you know, I rewarded him for that. Ooh. And I let him walk for a couple minutes. Then I asked him to trot. And that go around, it only took us counterbending one time before he offered to walk. So I was kind of hoping, since it was windy, it might kind of trigger him to get after it a little bit more. We'll see. We'll keep at it and see if he does or not. If not, I'm sorry. My horse learned his lesson pretty well day one. And I didn't have my camera. Let's go this way. Let's go through the bushes. See if that gets you going. Oh, getting a little bouncy. Going. So yesterday he was running off quite a bit. Now today he's like, wait, no, I wanna go slow. I kind of would like him just to maintain a trot. I let him slow down yesterday because that was a pretty good answer. But my overall goal is just to maintain a nice little trot. See if he can do it without me hanging on his face or having my legs in him the whole time. Y'all, he's being pretty good. But it just goes to show you that it really does work to make the right thing the easy choice and the wrong thing the hard choice. So, you know, I could force him through bits and holding him and stuff and make him go slower. It would look really, really ugly. And, you know, he'd be mad at me and I'd be mad at him. It's not a good idea. But, you know, he has a will, he has a spirit, he has a mind. But ideally what I want is for him to partner up with me. And when I say, hey, you know, this is what I want, he kind of says, yes, ma'am, and gladly does it on his free will. So, you know, I'm kind of upset that he didn't do at least a little bit today for me to kind of show y'all the difference. But I am glad that he's learning and making progress. Hey guys, Sam and Sella here. We're just kind of taking a late afternoon little easy going ride. But I thought I would take the time just to go back and talk about the little clips that's going to be ahead of this. And I said that it was a good visualization for a piece of scripture. And I think it is. I think it's kind of the perfect, like, modern day example of Jonah. Now, Jonah has his own book of the Bible, and in chapter 1, it says that God told Jonah to go and speak to the nation of Nineveh, or nation, city, not sure which one, and let them know that they've sinned against God, and that if they don't ask for his forgiveness, he's going to destroy them. And Jonah, even though he was a prophet of God, for whatever reason he decided he didn't want to do that. So instead of following through with what God told him to do, or even just flat ignoring him, he did leave, but he left in the complete opposite direction of where Nineveh was located. And so God said, okay, God let him leave. Got on the boat just fine. Only problem was when they're out in the middle of the sea, a storm came. Keep going, bud. And the only way to get the storm to stop, Jonah realized, was to throw him overseas, because it was his fault. And as soon as the people on board threw him overboard, giant fish or a whale, whichever version you fancy better, came and swallowed him. And he spent time in the belly of a whale, and that's when he finally realized that, you know what, maybe I shouldn't do what I want to do. You know, and God forgive me for my sin, and, you know, I should have gone in the first place, and I'm ready to go now. And isn't that just like our horses, you know, at times where we're like, hey, bud, like, this doesn't have to be that difficult. I'm asking you to do this. And if they say, nah, I'd rather do this, be like, all right, you know, you've got more energy, so let's do this. Let's make it harder. Okay, then we'll come back and see, do you want to do that again? Or do you want to actually listen to me? Because I'm the one that's in charge, bud. And guess what? That's just like our relationship with God. Except we're not the ones in charge, okay? We're like the horse, okay? And when God asks us to do something and we tell him no, life's gonna get a little hard for us. Like, God's gonna do whatever it takes to get our attention. And it may not be something as big and dramatic as, you know, God told us to leave the country, you know, and go minister to a whole other nation. But it may be that God asks us to, you know, go up and talk to a random person in the supermarket. You know, God may say, you know, hey, you know, I want you to pay for their meal, you know, or something like that. And I hope we don't take those little opportunities and just say, God, that makes me uncomfortable. That's not what I want to do. So I'm just going to pretend like I don't even see them here in the supermarket. And I think it'd be kind of foolish to think that doesn't have consequences when we tell God no. Not only will we miss out on a blessing, because there's definitely blessings for us, you know, as well when we follow God and do what he asks us to do, but there's going to be consequences. And at the very, very, very minimum, you know, one day we're going to stand before God and give an account of our life. And he's going to bring up that little moment in the supermarket. Because that little moment may seem little to us, but in the eyes of eternity, it could mean everything. So I just hope that that's a reminder that, you know, maybe let's not act like our horses when they want to take off and do things on their own and not really listen to us. Because as, you know, uncomfortable as a ride as that is, and, you know, that's not the kind of partnership that we're looking for, sometimes that's what we offer up to God. You know? And, you know, if you read further into the book of Jonah, you'll find out that even after he went and did what God told him to do, he was still sour and salty about it and pouting up on a mountain. That is not the kind of horse I want to ride, and that is not the kind of relationship that I want to have with God. I don't want to be salty about what he asked me to do just because I may not feel like it, or it may not be my idea of how I would do things if I was God. But I'm not God, you know? And the horses are probably thinking the same thing about some of our decisions. They'd be like, I don't want to do that. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, and that's not what I would do if I was in charge. Well, you're not in charge. I'm in charge. And, you know, just like I know what's best for my horse, God knows what's best for us. So I hope that can just be a little reminder and encouragement to not let us be like the horse that just wants to take charge and run off, or, you know, do things our own way. You know, that we can shoot for a good partnership with God, just like we want with our horse. So I hope that helps. Until next time, we'll be talking at you. Oh, and by the way, I hope you're loving my flamingo hat. In case you didn't know, blessed is the one who wears flamingo swag. The Mess's Bible, probably, I'm thinking. No, I'm just kidding. But flamingos are awesome, in case you didn't know. All right, we'll talk to you later. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. We upload a video once a week, not only to encourage you in your riding, but in your spiritual walk as well. If this message has inspired you, please leave a comment. We would love to hear how God is using us in your lives. Till next time, bye. Good boy.